líder de este rally, tras la super especial del día de ayer, que nada tiene que ver con lo que estamos viendo ahora mismo. Ya los propios pilotos lo decían claramente. En cuanto a las variaciones de altimetría de este tramo, sí que prácticamente todo es en llano, excepto algunos momentos en los que se remonta sobre el kilómetro 9. Hay medio kilómetro de ascenso, mismo ascenso que después en el kilómetro 15 se desciende. Luego tenemos un ligero repecho muy cortito, son zonas de subir como a una meseta y volver a bajar. Y esto pues casi, tal como estamos viendo, es territorio como de base lunar, ¿no?
Prácticamente, aquí habrá que sacar al rover y ver qué tal van gestionando. No, la verdad es que es parte de lo, vamos a decirlo claramente, ¿no?, de lo atractivo por una parte y de lo que a algunos pues no les ha gustado necesariamente por otra de este rally, ¿no? Un rally muy complicado, muy distinto a lo que vemos en la mayoría de eventos. En un momento era temporada, obviamente la última cita con 3 candidatos en las que, bueno, pues habrá quien pensará, con una buena parte de lógica, que nos gustaría ver una pelea quizás menos marcada por elementos externos. Hablando claro, yo creo que esto lo hemos tenido ya durante todo el año, ya hemos tenido esas peleas y los elementos externos. Esto forma parte de este mundial, casi te diría yo, más variado del que hemos tenido casi nunca en la historia del mundial de rallies.
14 rallies completamente diferentes entre ellos. Vamos ahora con Kalle Rovanperä, más 4.3.
Definitely not easy days, really technical, most of the places. Yeah, just a steady start, I think we're great.
A few words in Finnish as well, please.
Bueno, pues decía Kalle Rovanperä, es un buen inicio, muy técnico el tramo, y decía, bueno, hemos tenido un arranque sin tomar demasiados riesgos, no tenemos que ser agresivos en estas alturas del rally.
Y Neville, Martin Vidage, más 1.5, ya superado los 2 tercios de este primer tramo. Vamos a ver la repetición de un momento. Con ese... ¡Uy! Se ha roto el cristal delantero en el aterrizaje de ese salto. Ahí lo vamos a ver.
Pues a ver si va a ser este el salto que se refería Sebastián Ogier, ¿eh? Un salto así un poco más duro.
Por rotura del cristal delantero, en principio sin mayores consecuencias, porque tan solo han sido una serie de fracturas en el vidrio laminado, pero si la cosa fuera a más, tendría otras consecuencias. Más 5.0 ahora Otanak, que ha ido por delante los primeros kilómetros y ahora cede tanto o más que su compañero de equipo Thierry Neville. Por el momento Neville se mantiene un poquito más rápido, aunque en este entorno, a partir del tercero en el orden de salida, se mantienen unas diferencias muy similares entre ellos. Como que el tramo se estabilizó tras el efecto limpieza del primero y el efecto ir con el mazo dando fuerte por parte de un Seb Ogier, que sabemos va a salir al ataque en todo momento.
Y sabemos que además a Seb le gusta este estilo de enfocar un rally. Evidentemente es un piloto con muchísima experiencia y sabe que en lugar de tomar bastantes riesgos a lo largo de un rally, es más eficiente tomar muchos riesgos en un tramo tramo concreto, en un espacio muy corto, en el que le puedas sacar 5, 6, 7 segundos a un rival y luego ya ir tranquilo.
Más 5.9 Octanac, te escuchamos.
Yeah, it's unique, that's for sure. Obviously, yeah, not a great rhythm at the moment. Let's see, start turn.
How does the car handle on this sort of surface?
Yeah, it's okay.
Bueno, pues el otro piloto que se nos retira de momento, o nos marcha, se nos va este fin de semana, Ono Itana, que decía...
El que no ha dicho lo que va a hacer, pero que se va, pero que no.
Bueno, ahora entraremos, yo creo, tengo sospechas. Pero bueno, decía tramo complicado. Y que bueno, no hemos tenido un gran ritmo, pero bueno, solo el inicio del rally, que por tanto pues está todo bien. Tanak, el futuro, bueno, pues yo sí creo que lo que va a hacer es un año de descanso,
Ni más
es
ni
decir,
menos.
descanso deportivo, no tiene por qué ser descanso de conducir.
No, para nada.
Sabemos que está esa normativa incipiente para 2027, que pues, puede haber muchos cambios en el Mundial, que pueden entrar, potencialmente podrían entrar varias marcas si esos cambios pues, son apropiados para ello. Y bueno, pues
Tanak podría ser un gran candidato
para ello.
a
Por experiencia, por velocidad, por todo, ¿no?
Claro, para dar un feedback a alguien nuevo, a un nuevo agente que quisiera entrar.
Y además es un fichaje que te puede permitir en un momento dado, si eres marca nueva, en teoría estar peleando por ganar desde el primer día. Y eso, a día de hoy, vamos a decir, a nivel de marketing, pues tiene una importancia, ¿no? Vamos a decir, pues hay varias marcas, se puede decir, porque ya hay marcas que están involucradas en Rally 2 y que por tanto sabemos que son esas las que están más pendientes. Sabemos que está Skoda mirando, sabemos que está Citroën mirando, sabemos que está Lancia mirando, que ya ha presentado ese nuevo Rally 2.
Sí,
y que
aunque de momento parece que hablan de que a la nueva especificación World Rally Car 2027 de momento parece que no van a concurrir.
De momento es lo que han dicho.
Claro, yo lo que
quiero
pienso
ver,
muchas veces es que quizás veamos un 2027 de mínimos y con una serie de nuevos agentes que pudieran entrar en 28.
Sí, entrar en 27 de golpe, yo creo que quizás suerte vamos a tener quizás uno o dos, pero
para el que ya está quizás sí.
También hay que entender, y eso creo que es parte crucial, al final Lancia forma parte de ese gran grupo Stellantis,
Sí.
en el que también tenemos a Citroën, y que quizás pueda tener más sentido tener una marca en un Rally 2 y otra marca en un Rally 1 o
Sí,
en
sí.
un Rally 2 Plus, o como le queramos llamar. Bueno,
Peugeot también
Peugeot
forma
también
parte
está ahí.
de la...
Claro. Es la única que no tiene, la única, de estas marcas más tradicionales de rallies, no tiene un Rally 2 ahora mismo.
Pero
Bueno,
podría
en un
tener
momento
pasado
dado
mañana,
lo podría estar. Efectivamente, si sobre
trabajando
todo
sobre la base.
si sabemos exacto cómo ha trabajado Lancia, ¿no? Que ha trabajado sobre la base del C3. Siguiendo un poco esa lógica del Campeonato del Mundo de Resistencia, que ha conseguido, pues, con unas bases muy sencillas, construir un gran campeonato, en fin.
Más 1.4, Thierry Neville.
No, it didn't feel natural at all. It's it's a new experience. Obviously, straight into the stage, we had a heavy landing. We broke the whole windscreen, and we had a lot of dust in the car since the beginning. But I just tried to trust my pace notes and follow the rhythm. It's very tricky in there, and the grip is changing quite often. Obviously, the sand is getting very, very soft. But on other places, it's getting some kind polished and super slippery. But we are here.
How distracting is that? It's right in your eye line, isn't it?
Luckily, it's okay. I still see where I have to go. Bueno, pues Thierry Neville contando bastantes cosas. Quizás ya eso de que se acabe ese año de defensa de título quizás le ayuda a tener un poco más de ganas de hablar. Decía, bueno, la verdad es que no me he sentido para nada natural en este tramo, ¿no? Es una experiencia, desde luego, muy, muy nueva. Hemos tenido ese aterrizaje que, bueno, pues hemos roto el cristal delantero y eso pues ha hecho que nos entre mucho polvo. Pero bueno, simplemente confiando en las notas que hemos tomado, que creo que son correctas, siguiendo un poco nuestro ritmo. La adherencia cambia bastante a menudo, porque la arena se está volviendo muy, muy blanda ya, y en otros sitios, por otra parte, pues se está puliendo mucho y eso hace que deslice muchísimo el suelo. Pero bueno, estamos aquí. De momento, pues todo está bien.
y afortunadamente esa rotura de cristal no me molesta tanto, sigo pudiendo ver dónde tengo que ir. Y bueno, qué salvada ahí hemos visto de Adrien Formó.
Sí, pero
si no le salió bien lo del WRC, quizás lo del Dakar puede ser una opción, ¿eh?
Viene en tiempos, más 0.9 en el kilómetro 12,5. Valiente, dándolo todo y quizás tratando de hacer lo que le hemos visto hacer durante toda la temporada. Adrien Formó siempre trata de ir primer día al ataque, a demostrar que el fichaje por Hyundai Motorsport fue acertado, pero claro, luego lógicamente pues hay muchas circunstancias en la longitud de un rally donde pues ha pasado de todo, tanto averías mecánicas, pinchazos, arrancar medio coche, que es lo último que le sucedió, donde vimos cómo las fibras pueden levantarse prácticamente por completo de adelante a atrás. Y en fin, pues viendo también muy bonitas imágenes de acción de Adrien Formó. Cuando llegó Takamoto Katsuta, más 5.6, algo a lo que más o menos nos tiene acostumbrados.
As we expected, you can't see where the load, and yeah, it's already quite soft in places, so you know you have no idea what line is the best way to go, and so this way or take the line, you know, it's very difficult, but yeah, fast impression is not bad. I was very careful, but it's not 20 seconds slower than 70, it's fine.
You've had a lot of success in Kenya over the years. Is this the sort of rally you feel you could have a promising run, do you think?
I try my best. I can be running. Let's see, this one is quite demanding. I have quite big headache now after running. It was quite big jump as well, so yeah, let's see.
Well done. You look cool in the sunglasses. Love it.
Muy complicado, tal y como esperábamos, decía Takamoto Katsuta. La arena muy blanda en algunos puntos, así que es complicado saber cuál es la mejor trazada, ¿no? Hemos sido bastante cautelosos, pero bueno, decía Taka, estamos contentos porque no estamos a 20 segundos de Seb, así que eso es una buena señal. Voy a intentar lo mejor que pueda, pero bueno, este rally es muy exigente, así que a ver qué tal nos sale.
Sami Pajari en acción. Estamos viendo imágenes muy diferentes a las que hemos podido experimentar a lo largo de los distintos 12 más 1 rallies anteriores, 13 para los que no tengan supersticiones. Y aquí pues verdaderamente imágenes muy de película, pues eso, un Star Wars,
¿Dónde están los dos soles de Tatooine?
Sí, por ejemplo. En cualquier momento. Sabemos que en Arabia Saudí hay potencial para,
sí, en un momento dado,
para generar un segundo sol, si hiciera falta. Y bueno, pues esto es muy Top Gun, ¿no? La imagen de Adrien Formó. Algo con estética más moderna, la de Sami Pajari. En el caso de esas viseras de los copilotos estamos un poco más acostumbrados, pero sin duda alguna Maverick Formó va a ser también
Good morning, Adrien. That is a really strong start. Just a tenth of a second off the fastest time of Ogier. How was it for you?
It's, I would say it's the cleanest stage of the day, so I wanted to have a good stage in this one. There was places that already there was some rocks and holes, and I broke the windscreen also, so it's yeah, it's definitely a challenging stage, but at least it's fun to drive in the sun. Sometimes it's a bit like a bobsleigh. We can use the sun, the dunes to get more speed in the corners, and it's quite fun.
Yeah, Thierry did the same with his windscreen. Was that after a compression or a jump or something?
Yeah, it's on a jump. There was, yeah, suddenly the windscreen broke, so, but it's okay, I can see well.
Bueno, pues Adrián formó disfrutando, ¿eh? Decía, el tramo más limpio del día, decía, eso es importante. Así que quería hacerlo bien en esta primera especial competitiva de la jornada. Y bueno, igualmente, a pesar de todo esto, pues aunque es un tramo muy limpio, muy fino, ya he visto agujeros, he visto rocas, hemos roto el cristal en un salto. Así que nada, decía, muy desafiante, ¿no? Pero muy divertido pilotar por la arena. Y bueno, ojo la comparativa que nos daba el piloto francés, ¿no? Decía, esto es un poco como ir en bobsleigh.
Sí.
Dice, porque puedes subirte por las dunas, por los laterales y las puedes aprovechar porque el coeficiente de adherencia, dice, es el mismo que hay en el suelo. Y por tanto, pues bueno, lo aprovechas. Aquí, de hecho, lo hacía. Dice, y aprovechas ahí las dunas y nada. Dice, bueno, el cristal, dice, pues nada, lo hemos roto en un salto, luego dio una compresión, pero bueno, dice, puedo verlo bien.
Tanto Vocher como Adrien Formó han estado utilizando esos lugares, quizás pues conociendo un poco más pues esa forma de pilotarlos, de gestionarlos, de pensar pues como se iría en un bobsleigh, pues quizás sea una buena forma de afrontarlo. Además, en el caso de dos pilotos que vienen del mismo país.
Sí, señor. Y disfrutando aquí en este rally. Hay que entenderlo también así, ¿no? Creo que es buena actitud la del piloto galo, que es venir aquí a pasarlo bien, y aunque sea muy distinto. Y si hablamos de pasarlo bien, pues el que sin duda lo disfrutará, por lo menos el resultado, es el Sami Pagliari. Pues por mucho que algunos pilotos digan, es que se está empezando a complicar, se está empezando a romper el tramo. Bueno, pues por lo menos no es suficientemente complicado como para que no se puedan marcar estos registros. Y cuidado, porque por detrás viene uno de los grandes favoritos de la afición, Martin Sesc, que viene más rápido, incluso segundo y medio más rápido que este hombre, Sami Pagliari, que de momento es que marca el mejor registro, segundo 0,3 por debajo del tiempo de Sebastián Ogier. Casi nada.
Morning. Well, forget Lawrence of Arabia. I think we're going to cast all of you Sami of Arabia. Look at that start, 1.3 up. You've got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, try to have a good run in there and try to be straight away on the confidence on the pace. So, yeah, we just need to keep pushing like this. But okay, the next stage is again something totally different. So, not going to be easy, but it's okay.
It's such a unique surface on this sand. Have you ever experienced anything like this? Maybe a little bit in Kenya in the Fesh Fesh?
No, not really. Okay, some sections are a little bit like that, but also some quite unique sections there, so still learning.
A few words in Finnish as well on this one. Great run.
Pues Sami Pagliari, que decía, sí, bueno, está bien, ¿no? Es un buen inicio, hemos intentado hacerlo bien.
Oh.
Ojo, problemas para Josh McErlin.
Oh.
A las primeras de
Pinchazo.
cambio ya, ¿eh? Pues
sí,
tiene pinta de pinchazo. Sí.
Tiene lógica parar a cambiar si es delantera.
Sí.
Pero el primero.
Y
vamos a ver
que no el último.
¿Cuántos van a ser a lo largo de estos días?
Pues bueno, Sami Pagliari, como decíamos, decía que hay que empujar, que el próximo tramo va a ser muy distinto a este que este. Y viendo lo que está haciendo Josh McErlin me preocupa, porque decía Sami Pagliari, este es el tramo más limpio, más fino, más liso de todo el día. Así que no va a ser nada fácil. Y bueno, le preguntaban también si esa comparativa con el Safari. Decía, sí, hay algunas secciones que sí se puede parecer un poco, pero la mayor parte del rally es bastante único de momento, así que nada, proceso de aprendizaje que tenemos que hacerlo todos.
Qué bueno, qué buena idea haber escogido 14 rallies completamente diferentes entre sí y poner a los pilotos pues en algún reto nuevo, porque bueno, pues 3 pruebas nuevas este año de entrada en el Mundial. Canarias, que no deja de ser una ruta de asfalto con única trazada y sin posibilidad de error, muy al estilo circuitero, donde ganó Calle Rovanpera, lógicamente el piloto que más está pensando en los circuitos desde hace un par de años, o quizás algo más, pero no nos lo había dicho.
Pero por lo menos un par de años sabemos que son seguros.
Eso es.
Ya...
un Paraguay que al final pues fue también un rally lleno de retos y con un desempeño magnífico en el que apenas hubo abandonos y donde los pilotos lo dieron todo. Y en este caso un Arabia Saudí que sabíamos por las reminiscencias que tiene, ya que es el lugar donde se está disputando actualmente el Rally Dakar, pues que algo tendría que ver y que podría ser algo muy bello, y que ahora mismo pues vamos a ver además de manera concentrada y en 300 kilómetros cronometrados en los próximos días las diferentes situaciones y circunstancias que se dan.
Making you slide away, so yeah, let's...
Sounds like Josh has stopped to change a puncher. Did you see many rocks around?
I don't know, but you have already some rocks pulled out, or like I had some done cut, but they're just throwing sand over it, so you don't see them anymore.
Pues complicado juzgar, decía el tramo con la arena, decía Gregor Muster, a veces te encuentras como que la arena te frena, te bloquea un poco, a veces te hace que deslices mucho. Dice, y a veces hay rocas, hay cortes, pero estamos metiendo arena encima y por tanto no los vemos.
¡Oh, vaya pedrusco! De las que han ido metiendo en la pista. Y es el, bueno, Josh McKerley.
Bueno, aquí también ha sido...
Que ya ha empezado a comerse... Yo creo que se ha empezado a agobiar.
Sí, puede ser.
Y ahí vamos a ver. Y ahí
sí,
ya
pero ahí ya iba... Sí, te iba a decir.
Completamente...
Eso es señal de cuando te vas largo, cuando ya vas mal de...
Y anda Eoin Tracy sujetando seguramente algún elemento de la intercomunicación para que le pueda escuchar Josh McKerley. Quizás no lo han podido enganchar bien. Se han dejado 2 minutos 15, poco menos, 2 minutos. El resto del tiempo era el que iban perdiendo.
Es un fastidio empezar así, es un fastidio. Pero bueno, fíjate cómo es el mundo, ¿no? de los rallies. Tienes un coche con problemas y el que está haciendo los mejores tiempos pues es tu piloto a tiempo parcial, Martin Sesks.
Sí, pero esto ya estamos bastante acostumbrados. Es un piloto que sale 7 rallies que va a hacer a lo largo de esta temporada. Sale siempre a cuchillo, no sabe hacerlo de otra forma y quizás también es un poco el papel que ha vendido a sus patrocinadores, donde les ha dicho vamos a salir a darlo todo, a dar espectáculo, a marcar algunos puntos y algunos momentos donde destacar. No podemos luchar por el título mundial porque para ello habría que correr los 14 rallies, así que pues vamos a dar espectáculo.
Bueno, pero es una buena manera para demostrar que quizás si alguien apoya, ¿no? Pues igual si tenemos el ritmo para intentar cosas.
Efectivamente.
Buena manera de plantearlo.
Es otra forma de lanzar esos mensajes. La velocidad está, vamos a ver cómo lo gestionamos y lo sacamos. De momento parece que en su librea aparecen nuevas firmas, nuevas marcas que se van sumando a las anteriores, así que pues nada mal. Porque esto es algo que está costando mucho, el traer nuevos colores, nuevos detalles, nuevos logotipos.
Yo creo que además el ser agresivo en un rally como este, vamos a decir 2 cosas, ¿no? La primera, te va a ayudar a ser rápido seguro. Sí. La segunda, pues, te puede traer algún pinchazo. En fin, esperemos que no, porque nos encantaría ver a Martin Sesks ahí.
Sí. Es una prueba donde se puede lucir.
Claro.
donde poder mostrar pues que el potencial del Ford Puma Rally 1 pues sigue estando ahí, sigue existiendo.
Y mira, quien viene con tiempos nada desdeñables es Nasser Al-Attiyah,
Sí.
que viene pues a 4,4 del tiempo de Ogier, vamos a decir, que era el más rápido en el punto kilométrico de 12,5, donde está el piloto catarí. Y por tanto, bueno, pues en tiempos parecidos a los de Takamoto Katsuta. No está nada mal.
Esto es algo que de alguna forma pues a los pilotos a tiempo completo de este equipo les pone un poco en evidencia. Entendemos la situación. Y ahí estamos viendo cómo Martin Sesc ahora podría, aunque han sido en los últimos metros, ver un poco esa estela de polvo del coche de
Was it a rock or was it a rut though?
It was a rut on a junction. Yeah, not a great start, and the only thing is it's a long rally and unpredictable, so we'll keep in the fight.
Was there an intercom issue as well after the change?
Yeah, it started even before the change, and there's an intercom issue before the stage, and that didn't help things.
Bueno, pues lo ha dicho claramente Josh McElin, ha sido en un cruce donde ha habido ese pinchazo en un cruce donde había una rodera. Hemos metido la rueda ahí y mal. No ha sido el mejor inicio, pero bueno, es un rally largo, muy impredecible, así que seguiremos peleando y ver qué tal. Apuntaba también que tiene problemas con intercom ya desde antes de empezar el tramo.
I don't think you have deserts in Latvia, but that's an incredible run. Last bit, I've got you half a second up. Could be a stage win.
Crazy, huh? I think the last one was in Latvia, so we are not only fast in Latvia, it seems.
But I mean, you don't have deserts in Latvia. That's a pretty quick learning out there.
Actually, I was testing with the T3 buggy in Latvia, and we have dunes.
Oh, well, there you go. It's all good experience, but you've got to be pleased with that start, though, eh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's see now. The two other stages are completely different, so let's see how will that go.
Great job. Well done.
Nasser isn't faster, no?
Huh?
Nasser isn't faster.
You are fastest, yes, by 3/10.
Okay.
Bueno, pues Martin es que al terminar decía, oye, espera, que me estáis diciendo que tengo el scratch, pero no va a ser más rápido Nasser Al-Attiyah, ¿no? Ok, bueno, entonces todo bien. Bueno, decía, ¿no? El piloto letón decía, bueno, una locura, ¿no? Pensar que nuestro último scratch fue en Letonia. Y por lo tanto, pues demostramos que no solo somos rápidos en Letonia. Y bueno, le decía, ¿no? Nuestro compañero le decía, bueno, pero Martín, es que claro, no tenéis desiertos en Letonia, ¿no? Y ahí la cosa, pues, claro, no la puedes hacer ahí. Dice, bueno, dice, de hecho, he estado probando con un buggy, un T3 en Letonia y tenemos dunas. O sea que, por lo tanto, algo de ahí, algo se puede sacar de experiencia.
Ahí escuchamos a Cándido Carrera.
Voz española, pero no en español.
Cantando en inglés, no en gallego, no en español. Ya tienen una experiencia de varios rallies.
.46.3 a medio segundito de Takamoto Katsuta, 2 décimas de Oitanak y por delante de el Finn Evans y también de Gregor Mustera, además de, lógicamente, Josh McElin, ¿no?
Qué buena experiencia para Cándido Carrera, que ha sido copiloto en Hyundai Motorsport, sí, en la máxima categoría, y ahora lo está haciendo en M-Sport.
Yeah, he was really trying to push and to manage, you know, but it's amazing, you know, to drive Rally 1, you know. Really, I'm so happy, you know, and just to continue and to push and to learn and, yeah, just to enjoy. I need to enjoy this race.
A pure desert stage like this is so unique for the other boys. What's the key to carrying speed on this sort of sandy surface?
You need a lot of experience of this open desert, you know, because it's not easy to read. There is no reference, you know. But okay, I hope, you know, everybody reach the final safely, you know.
Great job, keep it up.
Sí, hemos intentado empujar, decía Nasser Alatilla, pero la verdad es que es genial pilotar el Rally 1. Estoy súper contento de estar aquí y nada, vamos a seguir empujando, aprendiendo y sobre todo disfrutando. Hay que disfrutar todo esto, es lo más importante. Para ir bien aquí, pues bueno, hay que tener mucha experiencia. No hay referencias en el desierto y por tanto pues las referencias de frenada son complicadas. Pero bueno, espero que todo el mundo lo disfrute y sobre todo que todo el mundo llegue al final, al service final.
Piloto profesional de 54 años, con experiencia local. ¿Qué sensaciones más agradables tenemos en su primera experiencia sobre un Rally 1? Y con ese conocimiento del terreno, con ese estar en forma. Vamos a poner unas comillas grandes. Gentleman drivers así da gusto. Porque
sin duda,
claro, es un gentleman driver para lo que es la falta de experiencia en un Rally 1, pero ¿en qué no ha corrido Nasser Alatilla?
Claro, y es un gentleman driver en tanto a que la edad le obliga a ser un gentleman driver, pero vamos a decir, es un piloto profesional que ha ido pues variando su rendimiento o bajando su rendimiento a medida que la edad pues le obliga a ello, pero no por ello es menos profesional en su enfoque, en su forma de trabajar, y eso hace que a veces pues estos pilotos de vez en cuando te den algún susto. Lo hemos visto, además, cada vez más en circuitos, pilotos con casi 50 años en monoplazas, en GTs, en resistencia. El propio Fernando Alonso con 40 y medios, pues ahí aún en la Fórmula 1. Por lo tanto, cada vez más estos pilotos aguantan lo que nunca habíamos visto.
Correcto.
Si no, que lo digan a Sebastián Loeb, ¿no?
Exacto, y sé que no lo van a hacer, pero en un Arabia Saudí poder ver a otro regreso de Loeb, a Carlos Sainz. Oh, aquí
sería bonito.
Aquí darían faena. Bueno, de hecho, con la cosa de que ahora va con el Ford Raptor del Dakar, ya se ha hecho su primer test en un Rally 1, Carlos Sainz padre. Y ya no le íbamos a pedir que saliera a un Monte Carlo ni que saliera a un Canarias,
claro, pero
o a un Estonia.
Viendo como es Carlos, que salir sin opciones de ganar no le gusta.
Pues ya, claro, a lo más cercano a lo que corre ahora, ¿no?
I thought there were going to be a few big jumps, but they were nothing, so I braked way too much, but the rest was quite okay. Yeah.
It's the last outing in this Rally 2 Yaris. She served you well. Are you going to enjoy this one?
Yeah, she's done giving me a good season, so I'll try to finish her off now one last time, and then jump into the big one.
Good jump.
Bueno, pues sin duda un tramo y un rally distintos, ¿no? Bastante fino el terreno en este tramo. Pensaba que íbamos a tener saltos bastante más grandes, pero al final levanté demasiado. No han sido tan grandes estos saltos, la verdad. Le preguntaba, bueno, Oli, el último rally con el Rally 2, ¿no? ¿Qué tal? Dice, bueno, sí, la verdad es que hemos tenido un año fantástico, el coche ha ido muy bien, así que nada, voy a intentar cerrar este capítulo de la mejor manera posible, disfrutarlo y luego a por el grande. Evidentemente, para aquellos quizás que hayan estado menos pendientes de las noticias, pues se refiere Oliver Solberg a ese anuncio que ya se ha realizado, confirmando que va a ser él quien sustituya a Kalle Rovanperä la próxima temporada en el equipo oficial de Toyota Gazoo Racing, algo que ya veníamos apuntando, que ya veníamos sabiendo un poco que iba a ser así, sobre todo después de esa gran actuación en Estonia, pero que bueno, ahora ya es oficial.
¿Qué ha pasado con Nicolai Griasin? Más 21 segundos, va a un ritmo bastante más lento de lo que podríamos atisbar.
Sí, está claro que ese coche...
Hay algo roto. Pinchazo no lo sé, pero algo roto sí puede haber. Porque incluso en la trazada, el giro a derechas no... O sea, como que mata el coche casi por completo antes del giro. Se está dejando ya 44 y medio.
60. Правый 5 минут, придержать 30, левый 3К. Придержать 30, левый 3К. 80. Правый 6К. 80 ровно, 40, правый 4, 3 минутки на юг. 4, 3 минутки, 40. И правее 20. Левый 4 рано у красного.
Pues de momento Oliver Solberg es el que está marcando el ritmo, pero se le están acercando los Solans, Robert Virbes, en menor medida Roope Korhonen, está disputando su sexto rally. Parecía que solamente tenía como presupuesto para hacer 5 y al final ha conseguido reunir para disputar el sexto, porque es que tiene, con un rally menos que el resto de rivales, tiene opciones de luchar por el campeonato del WRC2 Challenger.
Sí, al final es lo que decimos siempre, puntuar, pues puntuar 6. Eso es lo que de alguna forma le permite, ¿no? O sea, puedes hacer 7, pero hay que elegir los 6 mejores. Eso pues te permite que si haces muy buenos 6, pues no pierdas nada con respecto al que hace 7. Bueno, en fin, Nicolás Grecin, sabemos qué manos tiene. Ahora falta pues que la suerte también le acompañe. De momento mal inicio para él.
Pues para el líder del WRC2 Challenger, problemas. Se deja un minuto respecto a Solberg. También se va a dejar un tiempo similar respecto a sus rivales directos, Roope Korhonen, Jan Solans y Robert Virbes. Delantera izquierda.
Sí.
Nikolai, over the first 10Ks, it was looking really good. How did that happen?
Difficult to say, because there was no touch. I just drive and I start to feel like we have no power. Like maybe it was just difficult to accelerate through descent, but after I understand it is not a question of descent, it's just slow puncture. So it starts to be getting worse and worse. We slow down just not to stop and to change the tire, because I just wanted, I thought it's not so bad, so I can try to get it on the finish.
Yeah, just a minute dropped. Well done.
Difícil decir dónde nos ha pasado, la verdad. No lo sé, porque además no nos hemos encontrado.
A little bit. So at first Nikolai just thinking the car wasn't accelerating because he was in the soft sand, but actually he picked up that front left slowy.
As Roope Korhonen completes, we're just hearing that Robert Virbes has stopped at 9.4 kilometers into the stage. Crew are okay. No more info other than that at the moment.
Morning, Roope. It's about 13 seconds off Oliver's pace. How was your first desert experience?
Sorry?
So how was your first desert experience out there?
Yeah, this stage was really nice. Lot of soft places. I was a bit too careful in some places because I see some rocks, but otherwise okay.
And again, a few words in Finnish as well to describe this one for us.
So just having a look back at something here with Martins.
38.6, that is a stage win. Well done, boys.
Sam Gray on the radio there, back to Martins and Reynolds just when they crossed the flying finish to confirm a stage win. And they look surprised, right?
Yeah, they would
be. That's a great reaction.
Look at the competition around them, but that's brilliant. And such a boost for the guys at M Sport as well. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Martin Sesks then takes a stage win on the first stage of Thursday morning, 0.3 of a second ahead of Sami Pyri, who also had a stormer of a stage here Then it was Ogier, Formeau, Neuville and Rovanpera to the top 6 through the stage. Overall, it does mean that Martins and Renars are in the lead of Rally Saudi Arabia by 1.2 seconds over Sebastian Ogier, with Sami Payuri into 3rd position overall, 1.3 seconds separating the top 3 drivers. Formeau is in 4th position. Neuville drops down to 5th. Tanak is 6th, then Rovanpera 7th, Katsuta 8th. Championship leader Elfyn Evans is in 9th position, 14.9 seconds off the lead. Nasser Al-Attiyah completes the top 10 for us. We are going to head into the service park here in Jeddah to catch up with Kiri.
Amazing scenes of the city and amazing scenes of the desert as well. Well, there's plenty more to come. That was just a taster of what is in store for the rest of the day. What an incredible stage from Martin Sesks. Okay, well, the next stage is the moon stage. It's a new stage, slightly different in terms of what we've just seen. It's a ploughed stage just over the 20Ks, and it's Molly Pettit who's at the end of it. She will give us an idea of what to expect. Let's go up to her.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the second stage of the day, and take a look at this. Welcome to the moon stage. And I've never been to the moon, but I'm sure it looks exactly like this. Just loads of rocks, big boulders, and coming up here on the road section, just absolutely spectacular views. We've got mountains in the background here, and you can almost not even make out the stage next to us here because of all the rocks. But I've been to check it out, and surface looks quite loose. Could be a lot of cleaning in here. Quite a difficult job for those first cars on the road. It's getting closer to 30 degrees out here, and I think 20 Ks of the moon stage is going to be interesting.
Thanks, Molly. I think we'd have known if you'd been to the moon, but yeah, it does look pretty spectacular where you are right now. Okay, well, the commentators are ready to take us round that very moon stage.
It's time to venture to a different landscape, a lunar landscape, on what will be the second stage of the day. We head to the moon stage, just over 20 kilometers in length and very deep in contrast from what we saw on the opener. The sandy desert stages now will turn into a rougher, rockier climb through a very technical stage. We do have a high-speed sector in there, but the start very twisty, quite slow, and the risk of tyre damage in here is quite high. So, what an interesting morning so far. Martin Sesks taking the opening stage win of the day on what is a brand new landscape for us all. The overall classification for you then, Sesks is in the lead of Saudi Arabia. It's a 1.2 second advantage over Sebastian Ogier, with Sami Payuri in 3rd and Formeau in 4th position overall. And then we have Thierry Neuville in 5th. You can see 3.4 seconds off the lead. So it's still very close, of course. We've had 2 stages so far here in Saudi Arabia. And we move on to stage number 3. Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin are already in it. Let's see what this one has to hold for us all. Elfyn talked about being a little bit too cautious on the opening stage this morning. He's lost a bit of ground to Sebastian Ogier, to Kalle Rovanpera. He's going to need to, I know it's still early days, Jenny, but he is going to need to make a little bit of a change. Otherwise, he's going to lose ground with these guys completely in terms of time.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think Elfyn's just dropped a little bit. He's dropped into an uncomfortable position already after the first stage. And as you said, he can't afford to continue to drop all of that time. And then you end up relying on somebody else having a problem. That's not a position that Elfyn wants to be in. So just got to up the ante just a little bit and perhaps take... The problem is he's just taking a little bit more risks on stages where you are more likely to pick up a puncture. Look at that. Before it was just wide open desert, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now it's clearly just a man-made road cut through effectively a boulder field.
Yeah, you're looking at lots of volcanic rock which is strewn on the landscape here.
And it is quite a hard base underneath here, so there is cleaning going on. You know, this is where Elfyn is going to get punished with cleaning, so we can potentially expect him to continue to lose a little bit of time here, being first car on the road. He's managed that situation so well throughout the year. He's got to do that again, but now find something a little bit more too.
so twisty towards the start here for quite a long distance as well. So it's going to look so much slower than what we saw on the previous one, which was far more open. And he is picking his way through and trying to read the road ahead, avoid any of the bigger rocks.
There's a huge amount of cleaning going on in there, Bex. He's definitely been punished through that first 3 kilometres. You could hear him just not able to put the power down, and how the car was sliding around so much.
5 left sharp, lug, 5 right door, 5 left on in, 38 right, caution flip. Into latest 8 left sharp, 30, tight left right, caution no. And late 6 left sharp.
Seb Ogier capitalised on the opening stage this morning. The smoothest stage of the loop of 3 that we have, he put his foot down. His time was eclipsed, but in terms of keeping ahead of Evans, of Rovanperä, he did that beautifully on the opening stage. There is a very long way to go on this event, and we have, as Oitanak calls them, surprises all around on the stages.
See Seb just not hooking that front right onto the corner there, trying to avoid all those rocks on the inside. You can risk taking cuts, but with it, the opportunity for a puncture comes up as well. In the back of his mind, in the back of Elfyn Evans' mind, they'll both know if they pick up a deflation instantly, you know, they're straight away, they're on the back foot. They've got to try and get through these next 2 stages safely. And for me, Bex, it's actually the next one that's worse than this.
Yeah. The 4th stage overall is the toughest of the loop this morning.
4 right long, 7 sharp, into late 7 maybe, 30, 6 right sharp, don't repeat 6 right sharp, don't and 5 left sharp, 50, 6 left narrow, caution, 3 right into 3 left wrong, caution, don't in 3, 6 right, opens 3 long in, 5 left, opens long, door, 30.
Still waiting for Sebastian Ogier's first split to come through. Looks a little bit tail happy, that Toyota, doesn't it? Ogier 0.4 of a second quicker at 2.5.
I mean, it is, we were expecting it to be quicker, but it's only by 10ths of seconds at the moment, at least. But like you said, Elfyn is getting punished first on the road here. It's not going to be that much better for Seb's second car, to be honest, because there's so much loose gravel here to plough through.
Yeah, absolutely. And Seb's done a big chunk of the work on the first stage this morning that has allowed him to not have to push on this stage. He's built himself up a little bit of a buffer that goes, okay, on this stage and on the moon stage, I don't have to go flat out. I don't have to take big risk. I don't have to risk, you know, picking up a puncture.
Jatkaa. Vasemmat kirraa 15. Ahrat hyvä tiukka. 10. 30.
Elfyn right now is back in 9th position overall. He's 14.9 seconds off the lead, 5.7 seconds behind Taka Katsuta.
40, 6, right for 50. Spot, take that sharp. Take that sharp. Into 6 right long, caution, go, tightens plus, keep, 4 left long, watch, 3, 4 left long, into watch 4 right long, 6 sharp, caution middle, 6 sharp, caution middle,
There's not a lot of grip to play with there as first car on the road, is there, Bex? You can see Elvin's getting the car turned in, but straight away it's sliding, and then just looking at the graphic relative to the speed, you can see when he's on the throttle, but it's not turning into ground speed, if you like. So it means he's really struggling to get the power down. There's not a lot of traction to play with either, as he just continues to thread the needle.
And sharp middle. Into 4 right sharp. 5 left sharp. Door. And 5 plus into 4 left sharp. Caution don't in 3 deep right. Door. Then right 8 left. Door. Right left. 6 right. Opens key.
For Elvin right now, this is going to feel never-ending. Tight, twisty, lots of gravel to cut through. We're only just past 7.5 kilometres. It's taken 7 minutes to get there.
Yeah, it's a slow stage, isn't it, Bex?
It really is.
It's bitter, you can't really get into a rhythm.
It will eventually, in the midsection, it'll open out a little, but the front end of it is punishing. Ogier now 1.1 seconds faster than Elvin. Let's go back to Kalle Rovanperä. 7th position overall for Kalle. 9/10 of a second adrift of 6th position, where Tanak is sat right now, and 6.8 off the lead.
Quickest man's 2.5 kilometres, Kalle Rovanperä. Just drive the door handles off the thing this weekend, boys. The thing is, Bex, I think as we're going to see certainly over the first 5 or 6 kilometres, with each passing car, it's just going to get cleaner. So I would expect the grip levels to come up and the times to go down.
Yazid Al-Raji's in the 0 car this weekend. He's just been reporting to Molly Pettit at stop control that it is very slippery in here. We can see it. As I said, you know, you're just watching now with Sebastian Ogier and with Elvin, who's first on the road. The car is just, it looks like it's skating over the top of some of the gravel at times. It's digging in and it's turning, but then it is just skating across all the loose stuff.
It's just
so difficult.
Lots of opposite lock, very similar to, I said Elvin's Toyota looked a bit tail happy. Ogier's is exactly the same. I think it's just the nature of the surface, isn't it?
It is. Of course, it's hard work and hot work inside these cars as well.
Size those rocks either side of the road.
0 margin for error, and there's rocks within the road as well.
Ogier now at 7.5 kilometres, slower than Elvin Evans by 0.2 of a second.
Didn't expect to see that.
Watch 4 left sharp, caution don't have a crest. 50, and 5 left sharp, into 4 right sharp, middle, right for 60. Stage 3 left plus speed, 30 brakes, on stage 3 right sharp, neljä. Lopussa 3 NS. Jarru 31. Lopussa oikein miinus. Pidä. Jatkaa. Puolipen tiukka. Kirraa. Nopea.
Next split coming up for title contender number 3, Kalle Rovanperä. Let's see what the difference is going to be at 5.4 kilometres.
Jarru raju liukas oikein puhuu. 2. Puolikkojen plus. Mitä? 15. Oikein plus. Jarru 3. Tapee hyvin tiukka. Tapee hyvin tiukka.
It is faster. 1.4 up on Ogier, 2.5 up on Elvin Evans.
Jarru 15. Stari oikein. Miten se kapeet panivat miinus? Suppuun. Kierrä oikein tiukka. 3. Pikkuinen.
Back with Seb. Now, last split we had from Ogier, he was 0.2 of a second slower than Evans. That was at 7.5 Ks.
raté bref, ici, 80 mètres, léger frein gauche, 140 plus bref, pour 80 mètres, droitier léger frein pour gauche, 140 plus bref, 60 mètres, 140 qui faut passer, 140 qui faut passer, 140 mètres, droitier, 100 mètres derrière, attention, droite 140 plus raté, pour un léger frein 50 mètres, gauche droite 140 plus 50 et 50 mètres, gauche 130 raté bref, deuxième faux frein, 70 mètres gauche, 80.
Still slower on the next split by 0.8 of a second.
He's driving intelligently, should we say, Bex. He's driving safe. You can see that Seb was very, very intently trying to keep the car on the line there, maybe just picking up the brakes a little bit earlier than you would do, not carrying all the speed perhaps you could if you were taking big risks. Seb's, he's very aware of this stage and what can go wrong in here. And he's just driving to that. Calderov and Pera getting stuck in though. A lot of cleaning over the first 6Ks though.
We're very much focused on the title contenders here right now, but Tanak and Neuville are both in the stage. Great opening split from Tanak. Back with Elvin, who's passed 14.7 kilometres into this 20k stage. Still a decent amount left to go, but it has opened out a little bit more now in comparison to the start of the stage, which is just so technical.
In here, Bex. The work rate is up, and he'll be desperate to just see those yellow boards coming at him. Not a million miles to go. Just look at that. Look at all that rock. Contrast of the opening stage today, which was out in the dunes. It was pure sand. Now this is a hard packed gravel road with rocks strewn either side, and you're just threading the needle constantly. And Elvin Evans and Sebastian Ogier, because they're opening the road and all that gravel's on the top, grip levels anything but optimal. So the car, as you described, it's floating on the surface of the road. So you're always trying to feel what you've got underneath you. How hard can you push? How much can you lean on the car? And if it does overstep the mark, you end off in the boonies over there, and that rock will instantly just go shredder tyre.
Here we go. We'll get the first time on the board. Elvin has completed the second stage of the day. The last split I have for Sebastian Ogier. Ogier is 1.6 slower than Elvin. That's at 14.7 kilometres in. So time for Elvin, 15:47 exactly.
Ogier slower. I think he's driving smart. Calderov and Pera at 9.5 kilometres, 2 seconds up, but Tanak flying at 7.5 kilometres. He's 8.3 faster than Elvin Evans.
Elvin, that looked really hard. Just how punishing was it?
Yeah, this is probably the worst. So not a great rhythm with it either. So
Well, Seb is 1.6 slower than you on the last split.
Yeah, he's got to keep it together. All three of them have to keep it together within their heads. It's early days here right now. Can't get a panic on, can't overdrive, can't push too hard. It is so much to consider for these guys. Everything is playing out on the final round for them on a brand new event. The complexity level is through the roof. Okay, let's get back to Sebastian Ogier then, who is setting exactly the same pace as Elfyn Evans on the final split point. Could he turn this around? Could he be quicker than Elfyn? Let's find out. He made his mark on the opening stage this morning, in contrast to Evans, who said that he'd been overly cautious, especially in the midsection of the first stage. Ogier did the work this morning so that he wouldn't have to push too hard here.
Some corners like that where rocks will get pulled out for the guys coming a little bit later on. You already saw them on the inside and cars just nibbling away each time we see one come through.
I don't believe this. Look at this time! 1.2 seconds quicker than Elfyn Evans. So he's gone from 1.6 down to 1.2 faster. That final sector, which was a little bit more open, he's just been able to put his foot to the floor, had a bit more confidence there to push, and he's done it. As you said though, Jenny, this man is flying. Oyt Tanak really with his foot to the floor. Seb Ogier pulls into the stop control. Molly Pettit is there for us, and we'll hear from him in just a few moments.
Seb, you brought it back towards the end, 1.2 quicker than Elfyn. Talk us through your approach on this stage.
Yeah, a little bit for sure, much less risk than the previous one, because it's much more rocky, and yeah, it's going to clean a lot, so I expect the car behind being much faster.
Well, Rovanperä is quicker than him, and a decent way quicker than Ogier. 5.5 seconds up at 14.7. But then you've got Oyt Tanak, Thierry Neuville, Takamoto Katsuta is quicker. Like you said, the stage is cleaning, but we are seeing some pretty amazing times coming through right now.
Sami Pyri's in the hot seat here, Bex, as is Adrian Fourmeau. There is as we've said, as Sebastian Ogier just said, there is a vast amount of cleaning. There's an opportunity to be had for those cars running later on. Martin Sesks for sure, but Martin just needs to temper himself. It's been a dream start. He leads the rally coming into this stage. Just needs to come in settled.
Rovanperä hoping to propel himself up the leaderboard, but it's a tough job with Tanak, who's 6.7 seconds quicker at the midpoint of the stage. Same for Neuville, he's 6.5 faster than Rovanperä. So if anything, they're going to extend their advantage over Calais, and he's not going to be moving anywhere. Not a huge rock pulled out, but you can see as you mentioned, you know, it is for the later runners on the road, the rocks that are pulled out or that are emerging from underneath the stage. There are some just hiding just a little bit under the surface that will get exposed, potentially second pass. Rovanpera's time then on the board on what is the second stage of the day today, the third stage overall, the moon stage. Waiting for confirmation of it to go up on the board. There it is, faster than both OJ and Evans. 15:40.8 is the time. But as you can see on some of the splits that we've been talking about and that we'll show you, Tanak and Neuville are quicker than Rovanpera.
Tanner, you are fastest, but it seems to be cleaning a lot. Oit is at 8.8 quicker than you on the last split that I have. How did you manage?
Yeah, for sure, it's so loose. It's crazy how much there is trouble, and basically you're driving just on the rocks the whole beginning of the stage. But yeah, it's also so technical and narrow. Proper, yeah, I don't even know what to say here on the TV. I can say I'm happy I didn't do this once more anymore in my life.
You have got to do it once more, I'm afraid. It's running again this afternoon, Calais. So
yeah, sorry to bring that to you.
It's but I understand what he means, because it's changing so much and it's just bitty. It's just left, right, left. You can't get into any sort of rhythm at all. And at the same time, you've just got all this rock field either side of you just looming.
Great times coming through from Tanak.
Yeah, classic Oit Tanak, isn't it? In terms of the actual stage itself, Bex, it's not particularly demanding on the car. It is demanding on the tyres, but from a suspension and everything point of view, it's okay. Relatively smooth, isn't it? So we've seen this so often before from Oit Tanak when other people would be slightly concerned and backing off. That's when Tanak pulls the trigger. And he's certainly lit the fuse in here, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's in 6th position coming into the stage, 2.5 seconds behind teammate Neuville, but he is 2.8 seconds quicker than Thierry, so there could be a position change there.
It wouldn't surprise me if we see people go quicker than Oit Tanak as well through here, Bex, because there is so much cleaning going on.
Well, Formo is faster. His teammate is faster, but that's just at the second split point. Sami Pyri setting the same pace as Tanak. But it's a double-figure advantage, isn't it, for Oit here? 12.6 seconds quicker than Kalle Rovanpera, which pushes him ahead of Sébastien Ogier in the overall standings now. So he's 12.9 on Ogier overall, 13.5 up on Rovanpera.
Sharp, don't leave time 5 right sharp of point, then brave 30 happen.
More than 12 seconds quicker than anyone else. Something working well in there.
That's cleaning a lot, but yeah. Car is very hot, so sorry, I need to go.
Yeah, he's just signalling there to kind of speed up the interview, because that is going to be a huge factor. We haven't really talked about that yet. Yeah, we have hotter rallies maybe in Sardinia, but the intensity.
Sorry.
Oh no! What's this?
We talked about punctures, rear right puncture for Thierry Neuville. How quickly is that deflating? Is it just a slowie, or well, hopefully we'll get an idea here as it comes past our camera. It's off the rim.
Do you know what? Neuville cannot catch a break this season, can he?
No, it's definitely one to throw in the bin, isn't it? Yeah, you can just see it's off the rim there. It's been pushed back over the bead. Not a million miles left to go, though. So it's going to cost him time, but fortunately for him, we're not right at the start of the stage. those left-handers where he's just got to be a little bit careful. He'll know he's got a rear right puncture. The TPMS will have warned him of that. But through those left-handers, Bex, where he's loading up the right-hand side of the car, that's where he'll just need to be a little bit aware that he can't rely on the grip being on that rear right corner as he loads the car up on that side.
Laisse tomber alors le pneu. Ok. Ouais. 150 plus pour attention. Gauche, 140 plus 7 millions. 140 plus 7 millions. Et droite, 142 points, pas plus. Et gauche, 150 plus sur 80 stop de votre compression de mixeur. De votre compression de mixeur. Attention, hier.
Big rock there, right in the middle of the road. That's one of the reasons why you run such a high ride height as well, to be able to clear all that stuff.
Yeah, 15:37.6. He hasn't lost a huge amount. He has lost a bit of time, but he's 9.4 seconds slower than Tanak. There was, what, a couple of seconds between them. So it's not a devastating blow in terms of time loss here.
Yeah, I think he'd have been a lot closer to Tanak, though, towards the end of the stage if we hadn't had that rear right. This man, though, Bex, is on a proper charge. You can see from your splits. He's up on Tanak as well. It's that rear right. We'd love to have a look at it if it's possible.
Thierry, not much air left in the rear right there. Only 9.4 lost to Tanak though. Talk us through it.
Not ideal, but we will not be the only one. Yeah, unfortunately we had a good rhythm. Very slippery stage. He's obviously cleaning in there. And the tire got already a bit warm in here, but yeah, we got a puncture for 5k before the finish, slow puncture luckily, so we carried on and we didn't lose too much time.
Yeah, I think they were very lucky not to lose a heap more time. Adrian Formeau is really giving this a good push. 2.5 seconds up on Tanak at 12.5 Ks. Let's take a look at Taka Katsuta. He's going to be next to complete. He's 3.7 slower.
Martin's a great first stage of the day. Rally leader. How does that feel?
I'm trying to not think about it. There's still many more stages.
There is many more stages to go, but it's a good start, isn't it? Whatever.
It is, yeah.
Okay, what are you looking at? Oh, you're in there. What's going on? Everything okay?
It's a man. That's what you see regularly out on the road sections. A man with his head in the wheel arch of a rally car.
I love Julia trying to put the microphone deep into the wheel arch, though, just to get a reaction there.
The thing is, you can probably they'll be constantly changing the ride height to suit the conditions, Beck. So the first stage will have been, obviously, we saw lots of undulations and jumps. This is a much smoother, flatter stage with traditional cleaning. So you'd be tempted maybe to drop the ride height perhaps a little bit if you're brave. You can maybe even go perhaps a smidgen stiffer. So you'll just see the drivers after the recce, they'll have their plans of what they think they can get away with and what they'll do based on what they're going into. So constantly changing the setup of the car between the stages.
As Taka through 3.4 seconds off the pace right at the front, which is held by Oyt Tanak right now. It's the second fastest to Oyt. Taka moving ahead of Neuville, Ogier.
Taka 3.4 off the pace, how was it?
As we expected, it's horrible. So many rocks coming on the lines. Of course, there's a lot of cleaning, but at the same time, we have a huge rock to avoiding all the rocks. So maybe we could over in many of the rocks, but I didn't want to take any risks. So yeah, it's kind of skiing every single corner, and not nice, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, you're going to see that on this stage and on the next one, Bex, just more rocks getting pulled out onto the line. So yes, you've got the advantage running later on with the cleaning effect. You're going to have more grip to play with, but as those rocks get uncovered, they get dug up from the surface of the road and then pulled out as well. You run the risk of collecting one of those, and Taka saying they were there clean on the line and he was having to avoid them, not wanting to take the risks, and that's what happens with running later. Not really bothering this man though, is it, Bex? Adrian Fourmeau pressing on.
Still up on the splits in comparison to the fastest man through. Yeah, not bothering him at all. We're seeing quite a few change arounds now on the leaderboard, and I'm sure that'll be the case on the next stage as well. Final stage of the loop before the drivers make their way back here to Jeddah for the central service.
Sur pièce de gauche, 102 vers 7 pour gauche 110 plus court, 110 plus court, VIP, gauche 140 à fond, pour droite, VIP, gauche 130 moins, bien tenir des verts, VIP, droite 140 à fond, peut-être pour de volance à l'arrière gauche, on continue 60 mètres, gauche 140 à fond, 80 mètres.
A reminder that Tanak's time is 15:28.2.
Droite entrée derrière, ciel droite de frein, ferme 120 points de tir. Ciel droite qui freine, ferme 120 points de tir. Pas beaucoup, donc gauche 120 plus. Dans droite à monter, 100 mètres droite 130 plus, qui court en arrivée. Frein, 60 mètres gauche 100. Ok.
And it is faster, 1.5 seconds quicker for Adrian Fourmeau and Alex Correa, which puts them ahead of Ott Tanak by 4.4 seconds. But really interesting to see now everyone else factors in, because it is changing around. We're still waiting, of course, for Greg Munster here, Josh McAlee and Sammy Pyrie is going to be next to complete, and our rally leader Martin Sesks.
Adrian, you're quickest through by 1.5 seconds. Nobody else faster at the moment. If you compared the previous one to a bobsleigh, what was this one like?
This one, there was no grip. It was, yeah, very, very slippery. To be fair, all the stage I thought that we're going to lose at least 10 or 15 seconds. I had no grip. The way was always in the loose, and there was many rocks where I was slowing down to go through even, to avoid punctures, etc. So, yeah, it's really different than the previous one for sure. You really need a different car.
Well, I beg to differ. Martin Sesks is quicker than Adrian Fourmeau at 2.5 kilometres. Bex, 1.3 seconds faster. And whether or not he can maintain that throughout the stage remains to be seen. It's another good, strong start from Sesks.
Yeah, it really is. Sammy Pyrie finds himself in podium position coming into the stage. He was in third. Let's see, though, where that will factor him in. You know, the fact that we're seeing this stage cleaning hugely. 15 seconds up on Ogier in the final split, for example. So he will go ahead of Ogier. Not as quick as Fourmeau, though, just 2.6 seconds behind at the final split point. But the top 10 is shifting around on the moon stage. We recognise that flag. The Estonian fans, they travel far and wide.
Just got the first split in for Nasser Al-Attiyah, Bex, and he's the fastest man to 2.5 kilometres.
Well, how much is it going to change around in here then, Chenny?
Yeah, I think we're going to see it throughout the weekend. You know, each stage will evolve differently, Bex, but we were always going to be expecting there to be big time gaps Look at that big rock that Sammy's just had to drive around. It was right where he'd have wanted to be. He's had to stay left of it. You see a lot of that this weekend. Just goes 2.9 slower than Adrian Fourmeau. That's all right on a stage with so many variables in it.
So, Fourmeau is ahead overall of Sami Kairi by 1.2 seconds. Sami ahead of Tanak by 3.2. We have to wait to see where Sesks factors in. When NASA will factor in. Josh McAlean unfortunately lost time on the opening stage at the stop change wheel.
Sami, 2.9 down on Fourmeau in there, took us through it.
Yeah, not so great. Somehow really tricky. So low grip still. I believe it's leading a lot for us, but it's still really tricky and simply slippery, and you should be super slow to keep the line always. So yeah, it's okay.
Greg Munster just outside of the top 10 coming into this stage, in 11th, 2.7 seconds adrift of NASA's time overall. You know, we're seeing big gaps in time emerging here. We expected to see that. You know, that's the very nature, isn't it, when you move to the rougher stages and when they're cleaning as much as they do. Someone who really is continuing to go for it. As we watch Greg Munster here, we're watching some of the splits coming through from our rally leader, Martin Sesks. And he is really sticking with the pace, even on this really tough, demanding stage.
Yeah, Martins is getting stuck in, Bex. 3.3 quicker than Adrian Fourmeau at 9.5 kilometres. I was saying that he needs to temper it, just settle himself coming into this stage. He's not doing that. He's pressing on, isn't he?
He is pressing on.
And look, that's whatever's right for him. And frankly, again, what have they got to lose at this stage of the season? So why not just throw everything at it?
Yeah, why not?
Take the risks and see what you can get out of it. And
I mean, there could be some silverware. There could be goldware. Who knows what there could be? There could be some podium positions. Drivers in podium positions you maybe wouldn't expect on a rally such as this.
Yeah.
That's what that brand new, unique flavour throws up. It certainly could be possible out there. Going back to Greg Munster and Josh McAlean, this is quite a vast difference in time between them. I mean, Greg is 8.8 slower than Josh at 14 Ks. It's just a shame for Josh that, you know, on the opening stage he lost a bunch of time. Let's take a look at our rally leaders here. Martin Sesks and Renars Francis. Brilliant opening stage, and they're following that up. It was no fluke on the opener.
the thing is, Bex, you do take the opportunities because, you know, they've got a nice clean road to play with. Everyone else up the front who would traditionally be quicker than these guys, they're suffering with road cleaning, you know. So they're at a disadvantage.
Of course they are.
When you're given that opportunity, you take it.
You have to maximise it.
And that's what Martin Sesks is doing.
Greg, that's almost 25 seconds down. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm struggling. I don't manage to get the car rotated like I want, and I'm always too late in the corner. And if I try to be cleaner, I'm too often on the brakes. Tricky, but we carry on.
Greg, what's it like for you seeing Martin take a stage win on the previous one? It looks like he's going to do it again.
I focus on myself.
punchy question, Molly. Fair play. Look at all the rocks on the line there. He's got to be aware of him. Gregoire responded the right way. He's just got to focus on himself. And, you know, in similar machinery, Martins is going a lot quicker. But like you said, in rallying, it's so easy to get embroiled in what everyone else is doing around you, and you've got to not do that. You've just got to focus on yourself. And, you know, ultimately, it's just you versus the clock.
Josh is going to be next to complete then. Like we said, disappointment and time loss on the opening stage this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. He won't be the only one, though, Bex. We will see it happen to a number of his rivals throughout the weekend. What Josh has got to do now is just make sure that he doesn't let it happen again.
This run, though, showing us maybe a little bit of what could have been, but there we go. Long way to go here in Saudi. We are on the opening full day of competition. We kicked off last night with the opening stage, and this is the second stage of the day.
It's a real tricky flying finish because it sucks you into the corner, and you're tempted to carry loads of speed. Then you get on the brakes. Very easy to end up off the road on the way out of there. Flying finishes that are halfway through a corner, a fast corner, are always just a little bit complex.
Just been towards the start of the stage, a brief stop in WRC2 for Rupa Korhonen. Brief stop.
Josh, unfortunate what happened on the previous stage. You're only 11.8 off in here. What was it like?
Quite loose in places, and yeah, it's cleaning. Just need to get some mojo.
Pretty frustrated at this point, yeah?
Yeah, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to be relying on. As you said, there's going to be dramas along the way. Martin Sesks, though, is definitely rewarding the Latvian fans who have travelled here to watch him compete on the final round. Stage win this morning, and it looks like we're going to see another.
Get on. 4 seconds faster than 4Mo at 17.5 kilometres. Get in there.
Let's see what he does now from this point to the flying finish. There's not too far to go for Martin Sesks. We haven't seen him in the car since Finland. That does not matter. And as you mentioned, he is benefiting here from road position, obviously.
100%.
But still on that opening stage this morning, those rocks fired up there. You know, it's a confident drive. You still have to drive it, even though you're benefiting from road position. You still have to guide this machine through, and he is doing that in style today.
The thing with Martins is, Bex, he's at 100% all the time, and he's just got to be aware. You know, on this next stage as well, it gets even rougher than this. The chance of picking up a puncher are even higher. But there's no question he's doing a brilliant job. He's in a good rhythm. Why change it?
Yeah, I think we're all willing him to keep it together, make sure he keeps it on the road. Not too far away from the flying finish boards here. The fastest time on the board so far was Adrian Fourmeau. 15:26.7 was the fastest time. There's the countdown clock.
Oh, this is what I mean. You've just got to be a little bit careful of that. Car over-rotated the rear right.
There we go.
He goes quickest.
He does. We just, the clock's run over there. 4.3 seconds faster. Wow. What a run again from Sesks. His lead now over Adrian Fourmeau is 7.3 seconds, with Sami Pyri in third position. 2 stage wins in a row. Let's cross back out then to Molly at the stop control. Let's see what he's going to say this time.
Martins, you've gone and done it again. It's another stage win, 4.3 quicker than anyone else. I know you have a good road position, but come on!
Yeah, like in some, you know, this was really tricky, like, you know, you just go over the rocks and you don't see, like, sometimes you have trees or something and we are used to it, like in Greece and whatever. But here you see, like, you see the horizon, but you don't see the road.
Why are you so quick out there? Are you taking quite a lot of risks?
Actually, no, I'm just trying to be steady, but then I feel better, then I push a little bit, then you have a bit of moment, then I back up, so I'm still trying to find the right speed. Thank you.
Well, the speed is good enough right now. It's still the lead of the rally for Martin Sesks. Let's get back on board with Nasser. How's he looking on the splits, Chenny?
He's going well. He started out really well over that first couple of kilometres, and then naturally, you know, you've dropped back, and I think it's time. You need time in the seat in one of these cars to be able to, because it's more of a traditional rally stage than what Nasser's been doing, certainly with his Dakar campaign and everything else. And he, again, got a limited experience in the car, so as the stage has gotten more and more technical, he has dropped a little bit of time. And at 17.5 kilometres, he is 17.5 seconds down on Martin Sesks. But to be fair, that's what you'd expect, I think.
Nasser marks the last of the Rally 1 cars heading through the stage before we take in a little bit of Rally 2, and the next stage will be getting underway very shortly. Back-to-back stages this morning, which is great for us. A little bit of something flapping around there.
So again, Nasser just actively avoiding rocks that have been pulled out into the line. Remember, Nasser Al-Attiyah carrying only one spare with him. Everyone else taking two under the conditions. Nasser only taking one, so he's just got to be a little bit more careful, a bit more wary.
When we saw that this morning, we thought, well, that's a bit of a bold move.
It's ballsy, that's for sure.
Again, 9th fastest, 15:42.8 is the time for Nasser.
Nasser, you had the fastest first splits out of everybody, but you finished 20 seconds down at the end.
Yeah, I feel really not comfortable last part because the rear is completely loose and I don't really take any risk because I have only one spare I carry from morning, but okay, I enjoy and we try to do our best.
It's another stage win for Martins. How do you think about his job?
Amazing, you know, really amazing. Yeah, it's a good boy.
Nasser full of praise then for Martin Sesks, who leads the rally. Oliver Solberg now in the Rally 2 category. Let's give you some updates. Obviously, Oliver not registered for points within WRC2 itself, but is the fastest RC2 car out there. He's 12th overall. Gus Greensmith is leading the WRC2 category over Rupert Korhonen. Korhonen did have a brief stop in this stage earlier on. Jan Solins was in 3rd position coming into this stage, but he was stopped. We were hearing reports he was stopped on the road section for quite some time. Solans on the way to the, well, before he got on the way to get to this one. Kaito Kaitanovic is in 4th position. Nikolai Greisin's 5th in WRC2. Enough on the first pass this stage. I can't even begin to imagine how tough it's going to be second time through.
Yeah, I actually think the first stage you saw this morning, Bex, that's going to be the one that gets super dangerous because it was so soft. There's going to be, I mean, we even saw Josh McAleen getting caught out on one of the ruts. You know, that's going to evolve enormously. This one, I think the grip levels will probably come up a little bit because it'll be a bit cleaner. But the worry on the second passer will be the amount of rocks that's now been strewn all over the road. But I think it'll be the first one of the loop, the Al Faisalia stage, which will, did I say that right? I think I did, I gave my best shot. That's going to be the one that's going to be so dramatically different.
Nikolai Gryzin had disappointment in the previous stage where he did some tyre damage. He elected not to stop and change the wheel. He carried on. Was the right decision.
Oliver, I guess it's the closest you're ever going to get to driving in moonlight conditions. What was it like?
Really slippery. There was no line for me to fit in. I was always like this all the time, so it was a clean stage, but really slippery, and I didn't want to hit something, so I was really clean, but
Nobody else quicker at the moment?
No, the running's okay, but you can go much quicker if you have a clean line.
Yeah, I don't think there's a clean line for anybody. You can physically see it on the surface of the road, Bex. You know, you can see where people have been driving around rocks. It's quite messy out there, isn't it? There's no clear tram lines of where exactly you want to be. And of course, you've got the different dimensions of the Rally 1 car versus the Rally 2. And Oliver Solberg first into the stage after the Rally 1 cars have gone through. He'll have had nowhere to position the car perfectly on the road.
Take a look this time at Nikolai Gryzin and Cornen. You can see the time loss on the splits from Cornen. He had a brief stop very early on. He's 22 seconds slower than Gryzin up at 12 Ks, but immediately from the first split he was 11 seconds down. That brief stop from Cornen came just 200 meters into the stage, so looking split-wise at WRC2, it is Robert Verves who is really setting the pace. He's 3.2 seconds up on Nikolai Gryzin. So I think we could see some real change-arounds here as well.
Yeah, Vives needs to get the hammer down though. Bex lost quite a lot of time on the previous stage, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Steady run through for Nikolai Gryzin. Beck's just taking it easy. Remember, there's only one spare left in the back of that car after his puncture earlier on. He's still got another stage to go, so Nikolai really had no choice other than to just back off a little bit. Picks up another puncture, he'd be in big trouble.
Nikolai, understandably having to take it a bit more easy in this one. What was it like?
Yeah, it was easy. No grip, and for sure you just avoid all the stones which on the road, so it's not for sure the enjoyable driving. Just
yeah, like you said, driving around the stones, you can't afford to pick up